A fine good evening, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I'm in Burlington, Vermont today on South Willard Street. In fact, I'm standing in front of 158 South Willard Street. If you want more specific information about this particular house, you can check out my videos on Dr. H. Nelson Jackson and General William Wells. But what I'm offering today is a South Willard Street walking tour. Virtual for you, definitely real for me. So the information I'm going to be providing to you is from the Historic Sites and Structures Survey. It's for the National Register of Historic Places. Alrighty, so without further ado, this is a classic example of French Second Empire residential style and was built by A.B. Fisher from an illustration in G.B. Croff's Progressive American Architecture, published in 1875. The house was built for William Wells on a lot purchased from the Lawrence Barnes Grassbound estate. This was Fisher's first contract in Burlington, though both he and his son went on to design many of the more significant buildings in this district and in the city in general. William Wells, 1837 to 1892, had an illustrious military career during the U.S. Civil War, rising to the rank of general, brevet major general. And he received a Congressional Medal of Honor for his actions at Gettysburg. Wells was in the drug business. His firm, Wells, Richardson and Company, had its headquarters downtown. Wells was also involved in public office in Vermont and was president of numerous other companies. This house reflects his self-image and his place in the community. Shortly after Wells's death, Dr. H. Nelson Jackson married into the Wells family and in 1899 moved into the house. He won national fame as the first man to drive across the country by automobile in 1903. In 1972, Phi Gamma Delta purchased the house. The interior at the time of this writing of this survey, which was probably in 1993 or 92 or 3, the interior was intact and quite ornate. This elegant mansion, once surrounded by trees and shrubbery, has retained its beauty and is a landmark within the district. It's now owned by Champlain College and is a dormitory. Up next is this playhouse in the back here, this structure right here. This is a playhouse that was built circa 1915 and was very likely put here by Dr. Jackson, since he lived until 1952 and the general had died in 1892. So this whimsical octagonal cedar stick playhouse with exposed frame occupies the southeast corner of the lot. It has a hipped roof and a double door composed of cedar sticks in a chevron pattern. Each bay of the sidewall varies in the pattern of its trim work and has a double hung window. Here's a story I heard about this. So when this was a fraternity, when this Phi Gamma Delta, the General Wells house, and the Dr. H. Nelson Jackson house, the fraternity brothers were sitting outside, and this guy came out of nowhere and asked them if they would like to sell this playhouse to him for $30,000. $30,000 out of nowhere. He said no, they wouldn't have to worry. He would take it apart. He would take it away. They wouldn't have to do anything. They said, well, give us your name and number and we'll get back to you. They didn't tell him this, but they figured if he offered $30,000 off the bat, that the house had to be worth more, the playhouse rather had to be worth more than he was offering. And they were absolutely correct. It was worth quite a bit more than what he was offering. If you heard any music in the background, this street is exceptionally busy. I'm on South Willard Street still, and I'm going to be on South Willard Street because I'm doing a South Willard Street walking tour with you. And it's Route 7, so it's very busy. There is no time of day that would be easy to record on any given day of the week. So I'm doing the best I can. But if you hear music, I have no control over that. That was someone's radio or CD player, something playing in their car. Alrighty. So anyway, they did not sell the place for $30,000, as we can see. And I don't remember the number, but it was worth substantially more than the $30,000 that guy was offering them. And it's funny, I think they said that if they had been offered less, they probably would have sold it. But because he offered so much, they did not. I love that. Alrighty, so I'm going to spare you the walking from building to building because you don't need to hear the clump of my cane hitting the ground and probably the huffing and puffing too. All right, on to the next one. All righty, so up next is 174 South Willard Street. This is a Champlain College building. It's called Duric Hall. But it started life in 1956 as the Bertha Jackson Colk House. It's a U-shaped front-facing structure. This neo-colonial ranch-style house is actually non-contributing to the district because of its age. But now that it's another 30 years out, I wonder if it would actually be contributing. But it's built on part of the Wells-Jackson estate. Alrighty. Beautiful house, though. Beautiful house. All right, so let's continue on to the next one. Be right back. Alrighty, so up next is the John Dewey house, and we can see the very top of it right there. Hopefully I can get another better picture of you in just a moment. But this state historic marker here tells us John Dewey, philosopher and pioneer in modern education. Born here on October 20, 1859, John Dewey attended local schools and in 1879 graduated from the University of Vermont. Dewey was world-renowned as a philosopher and author of many books. Ideas drawn from his educational doctrines profoundly influenced American education. John Dewey died June 1, 1952. His ashes are buried near our Allen Chapel at UVM, and this was from the Vermont Division for Historic Preservation, 2004. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of the front of the house. I mean, we can see it's lined with these trees or shrubs or whatever they are. Wow. Look at this place. Holy cow. I like what I see, that's for sure. And what can I tell you about the house itself? Built in the late 1840s, this 2.5-story pedimented common bond brick Greek revival-style house was the birthplace of John Dewey, the famed educator, philosopher, and statesman. Construction of the Dewey house took place on land sold off from the Grassmount property, then owned by Mr. Leavenworth, and signaled the breakup of estate holdings along South Willard Street. And just so you know, this is number 186 South Willard Street. Isn't this a magnificent house? Wow. Yes. All right. I'm going to continue, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this house at 196 South Willard Street is known as the Leavenworth House, circa 1845. As it stands today, overlooking Lake Champlain from a rise at the corner of Jackson Court. This is Jackson Court right here, this side street right here. And certainly South Willard Street, which is the street I'm walking on right along here. This 2-story eaves front, gable-roofed house presents the accumulation of a century and a half of change and expansion. The house was probably built in the 1840s by Henry Leavenworth, the owner of Grassmount, who subdivided a portion of his property into building lots and perhaps had this house built on speculation. Subsequent owners appear to have remodeled the house in the late 1870s, in the late 1880s, or early 1890s, and again both before and after 1942. Come on. Little bastard. Come on. The house was originally built for L.A. Walker, owner of a Burlington building stone business which imported marble, granite, and Isle la Motte stone. Alrighty, this is known as the L.A. Walker House, 204 South Willard Street. built in 1881. And actually, if I showed you the transom window above the front door, you would see the address is right there for us to see. And let's see. The ceiling light illuminates it beautifully right there. The transom window, in case you don't know, was early air conditioning, if you will. So when the transom window was open and other windows in the house were open, air will come in, it will get hot. Hot air rises. The transom window would allow the heated air to escape, and you could repeat that process all day long. It required no electricity, certainly, and why not use it? You can still use it nowadays, too. Same principle applies. It would save money on the air conditioning bill, without a doubt. I can see that this place is called Made in Vermont. See right there? A chic boutique B&B in Burlington. But this was the L.A. Walker house. And let me see. This impressive, in fact, I can't really stand on this side of the street for this house, to be honest. But here we go. That's pretty good. So this impressive Italianate-style dwelling has a main two-story rectangular hip-roofed block surmounted by an imposing central rectangular belvedere with crusting. Yeah, that rectangular piece at the top, at the roof there. And let me use my cane as my handy pointer. This right there, that's the belvedere. And then that on top is the crusting. I would think the crusting, besides decorative, could be used as a lightning rod, but I could be mistaken about that. Clapboards sheet the 3x3 bay main block. The exposed foundation under the south bay window and around the southwest corner is cut Isle La Motte stone, but quarried redstone is used elsewhere. And you may recall when I was talking about the White House right there, that L.A. Walker had done work at a quarry. Okay, so this house was originally built for L.A. Walker, owner of a Burlington building stone business, which imported marble, granite, and Isle La Motte stone. So it makes sense that he used stone that he would have imported himself. Beautiful house. Oh my gosh. Look at the beautiful bracketing and it just makes my heart sing in happiness. All right, moving on. Get a load of this swanky place. Holy cow. This is the George Bessette house at 216 South Willard Street, built in 1909. Among the most opulent of the buildings constructed along South Willard Street after the turn of the century, the George Bessette house, which occupies a mounded lot at the northeast corner of Willard and Maple Streets, is also one of the more distinctive buildings in the district, with its eclectic mix of Tudor, Venetian, and even prairie-style design elements. This high-style residence was built for George Bessette in 1909 by Nichols and Parler of Essex Junction. Bessette was the general manager of the Wells Richardson Company. He arrived in Burlington in 1890, began work for the company as a freight manager, and by 1908 had risen to general manager. By 1921, he was president of the Burlington Trust Company, as well as the Beckworth and Rubel Tobacco Wholesale Company. Interior alterations were carried out in 1934 by architect Louis Sheldon Newton, who worked on many homes in the district. What a beautiful place. I mean, wow, just look at that. And let me see if I can show you some of the amazing brickwork. Look at I'm trying to get my cane. Look at the brickwork under the eaves right there. Oh my gosh. And the rafter ends that are sticking out. Wow. I mean, just wow. And those beautiful windows at the top. We have a very decorative chimney up there. We have a piece of side house there. The front door. I mean, look at it's just, I'm a little speechless at how beautiful the house is, to be perfectly honest. I'm pretty sure it's apartments, but at this point. But oh, it's just beautiful. My gosh. All right, I'm going to try to stop fawning for a moment or two, and let's see if we can see this structure on the side. I don't think we're going to be able to. I think it's a screened-in porch. Can you see it? We can see the foundation for it right here. So I think it's a side porch, a screen side porch. All right, on to the next. Actually, as we can see, it looks like a side porch right along here, as I thought. And look at that wonderful wall of trees in the back, dampening sound from your neighbor and providing beauty. Of course, I wouldn't want to have to rake the leaves that those trees are going to shed soon enough. But even so, and I know this is an apartment building now because this ladder right here. Ugly addition to the house, but a very necessary safety feature. And look at the chimney. Look at that. I can't zoom in anymore for you, but that beautiful decorative element right there. Wow. Thank you, sir, for having this place built. Who doesn't love to look at a house like this? And actually, this house concludes this part of South Willard Street. If you are enjoying my content, then I would ask that you subscribe to my channel. And then once you do subscribe to my channel, that you click on the notification bell so that you are alerted each and every time I upload a video. As of September 25, 2021, that is every day of the week. Sometimes more than once a day. Yesterday I uploaded not one, not two, but 3 videos. 3. Count them 3. So if you want to see my photographs, you can follow me on Instagram, Traveling for History, or my Traveling for History Facebook page. I post there as well. I'm on Twitter under Traveling for HI with the number 1. You can also buy me a coffee or a book on buymeacoffee.com. So many places to connect. So you can put any comments you like in the comments below. I prefer that you keep it clean. And until next time, I'm Patricia. I'm Traveling for History, and you have a great night. Bye.